From Nashville's First Church of the Nazarene, you are invited to join us in worship with The Real Life. Located downtown at 510 Woodland Street on the east bank of the Cumberland River, the life of Christ received, shared together, and extended to others with passion. For the next half hour, let us share the life of Christ together through the clear Bible teaching of Pastor Kevin M. Olett. Let's go into the worship now.
I'm so glad I could be here, and thank you so much. It's been a wonderful week for me and experiencing your hospitality. Your hospitality at First Church. And Dr. Ullman, and I've actually known him for more than 20 years. It's hard to believe. I turned 21 at his church in South Carolina. So I've known him for a number of years, and his invitation to me to speak with you all this weekend is, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. Let me ask you a question. You're in your house, and you hear something outside. And you look out your window, and your neighbor's house is on fire. Just a little bit of fire on the roof. It's not fully engulfed, but it's on fire. What would you do? You'd run out there and tell them, wouldn't you? You'd run out and tell them. You'd knock on their door. You'd yell. You'd throw things. You'd break things. You'd call 911. You would do everything you possibly could within your power to get them out of a burning house. This morning, your community, your neighbors, some of your loved ones, their home is burning. Spiritually. God says that they will be eternally separated from Him because they have not heard and responded to His news. And many of us, instead of knocking and yelling and screaming and doing everything we can do, we tend to think, well, it's the South. Everybody's a Christian. It's not true. I wish it was. My challenge to you as an evangelist, as a speaker to this morning, is to let you understand that homes are burning around you. And it is up to you to let someone know about the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ. I get to travel a lot, on the road a lot. And so the verse I want to read to you this morning has to do with two roads. If you have a Bible, would you open it up, please? If you have a Bible, go ahead and take it out. In fact, if you have a Bible, would you hold it up, please, for just a moment? Just hold it up. Good, good. Well, you can tell Pastor preaches the word. If you have a red Bible, would you hold it up? A red Bible? Okay. If you have an unread Bible, would you hold it up? A lot of unread Bibles. Some of you get that in a few minutes. It's all right. Would you turn to the Gospel of Matthew? And as you turn, would you please stand as we read God's Word this morning? Matthew chapter 7. Would you turn? Matthew chapter 7. I'm reading out of the English Standard Version. Matthew 7. And then turn to verse 13. We're going to be speaking and listening from what that text this morning, what God has laid on my heart for you. That's Matthew 7, 13. It will not be on the screen if you'll just look in your Bible there. Matthew 7, 13. These are Jesus' words. Enter by the narrow gate, for the gate is wide and the way is easy that leads to destruction, and those who enter by it are many. For the gate is narrow and the way is hard that leads to life, and those who find it are few. You may be seated. So many roads. Jesus is talking about two roads. We get to travel a lot, my family and I. I drive more than 40,000 miles a year. And I fly a lot. I flew up here to Nashville, be flying home tomorrow afternoon. And in case you haven't been here over the weekend, let me just tell you quickly, I have 4 amazing kids and a very, very loving and patient wife. Her name is Debbie. We met at Trevecca. Have you ever heard of that college? Yes. We met at Trevecca here just a couple years ago. We met several years ago. We'll celebrate our 20th wedding anniversary this August. You can clap for that. As you know, it's a lot of work. And so we homeschool. I should say she homeschools. I'm the principal. We homeschool our 4 children. Hannah is 15, Abigail is 12, and Hannah and Abby both had the regional quiz meet yesterday. If you know anything about quizzing, they're preparing for TNT. In the last couple of years, Hannah has been on the quiz team that comes up to TNT to compete, and yesterday she made it again out of the top 5 quizzers from the Central Florida district of the Nazarene Church. So she'll be on the A team. Yeah, thank you. And her sister, Abby, is the first year quizzing, and she made it too. So, yeah, so she's done a great job. And then they have a little brother who is just the joy of my heart. His name is Nathaniel, and he is all boy and so very, very funny. He plays upward basketball along with his little sister. She's a cheerleader. And we've never actually done upward basketball. We've done soccer before, but the other day, his games the rest of the season are at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning. That's almost like 9 a.m. church, isn't it? Yeah. And so the other morning last week, I went to his room at 7:15, and he sat up immediately. I didn't even wake him up. I walked in his door, and he sat up immediately. And I said, "You're awake?" And he goes, "Yes." I said, "It's time to play ball." And he said, "Sometimes I regret making this decision." That's true. That's a fact with my hand up. 7 years old. Would you pray for me and him? Because we're going to need it. And then he has a little sister whose name is Rachel Grace. And Rachel is 5 years old. And she is quite the 5-year-old. Let me just tell you that. Well, my first daughter, Hannah, was born in Eustis, right near a little town where we live. Eustis Waterman Hospital, the founder of Waterman Pens, founded that hospital. And when she was born, I saw a sign. I couldn't believe this, Pastor Ullman. There was a sign as you enter the maternity ward that said, "No children allowed." I'm going to let that sink in for just a minute. We have a little Catholic church. Some friends here that have experience with the Catholic Church. We have a little Catholic church in our town that has a little, like a thrift store. You know what I mean? Like a Goodwill, but run by the sisters there. And I love this. It says, "Shoplifters will be prosecuted, Sisters of Mercy." I love that sign. Have you ever been driving to the bank? This is the latest development. Now, you know, you don't have to get out of your car for anything anymore, right? Have you gone through the bank ATM drive-thru? Have you noticed there's Braille on the ATM drive-thru? It's a drive-thru, people. We get to travel a lot, as I mentioned a moment ago, and so many times we have time to do something enjoyable, but sometimes the weather is bad or there's not much to do in some of these small towns that we're in. And so if there's a mall close by, sometimes we'll go to the mall for a little while. And this is one of my favorite signs, those little piercing pagodas, places where they get their ears pierced. I know you good Nazarenes don't know about that, but places that when people get their ears pierced, they had a little sign that said, "Ears pierced, half off." I love that. That same place had a sale. They had a sale, ears pierced. They had a sign that said, "Ears pierced while you wait," I should say. Yeah, as opposed to leaving them and coming back later. I don't think so. If you go up and down the interstate system, or even maybe around Nashville, but in Florida, there's these billboards that advertise the importance of literacy. You understand it? And that's an important subject in Tennessee, and all states for that matter. And there's these signs, perhaps you've seen them, that they say, "Are you illiterate? Call 1-800-CAN-READ." I'll take just a moment again for some of you. Now, I noticed the construction has gotten better in Nashville, although there's some signs saying there's some construction out 40 and some other construction. But for the most part, it's gotten really, to me, as I've driven around the last few days, much better in Nashville. But I always laugh whenever you go through a construction zone that's been there a long time, and it says, "Slow men working." Yes, they are. Now, I did graduate from Trevecca Nazarene College. As I said the other night, it was a college when I went there. After I left, they made it a university. I don't know if it had anything to do with me or not. I did not graduate magna cum laude. I graduated, praise the Lordy. I was on the 5-year plan. I was an RA the last couple of years, a resident assistant in Benson dorm. You know there's one dorm one dorm, and at one point someone put up a sign that said, "For bathroom, use stairs." Now, we had some hurricanes blow through Florida a few years ago. You might recall hearing that. 4 hurricanes blew right over the top of my house. It was quite a mess. And if you leave our home, you enter a little community called Altoona. And you leave, or Umatilla rather, and then Altoona. They're very small little communities. And then you leave Altoona, you enter the Ocala National Forest. And in the Department of Transportation, in their infinite wisdom, after all of the wind and all of the rain, put up this sign that says, "When this sign is underwater, this road is closed." You probably saw something similar in Tennessee, I imagine. In East Tennessee, anyway. Now, there was a little store across from the post office in a little town called Mount Dora. We live in the Golden Triangle, so there's Eustis, Mount Dora, Tavares. And we live in a little community just north of Eustis called Grand Island. It's not Grand or an island, but it's a little community. But in Mount Dora, where my office is located, there's a little store. It was called Bates Market. It's closed now. Mama Bates used to work in there, and she made great sweet tea. And there was a sign in the window, I love this, that said, "Open 7 days a week and weekends." And those are some signs from the road. You can clap if you enjoyed them. I enjoyed them. Some funny stuff that you see for sure. Well, you're probably wondering, well, is this guy a magician? Is he going to do a magic trick? Well, I thought this morning I will show you a trick. But here's the deal. I will do the trick for you. Then if you clap really loud and give me lots of applause, I'll teach everyone how to do the trick. Deal? That was 3 of you. Deal or no deal? Deal. Okay, now remember we learned the first night the magicians do tricks, but God does miracles. So here's the trick. You need a purple handkerchief. Doesn't matter really what color it is, as long as it's purple. Take the purple handkerchief, you tuck it in the top of your left fist. Now, tuck it in the top, I'll snap my fingers, say the magic words, please and thank you. And it comes out yellow. It goes in purple and comes out yellow. It goes in purple, comes out yellow. You're catching on. It goes in purple, comes out yellow. Goes in purple, comes out yellow. Goes all the way in my left hand. Purple comes all the way out yellow. Open your hand. Show it empty. Take a bow. Any questions? Please don't. Please don't stop. Please. No, you can stop. Would you like to learn how to do that? Yes. Raise your hand, repeat after me. I state your name. Promise not to tell the secret of Mr. Scott's polished, perfect, pro kids, professional prestidigitation. And I promise not to repeat what others tell me to say. Put your... In order to do this, you need 2 handkerchiefs. Now, some of you already figured that out and told the person next to you. He uses 2. Of course, it's a trick. Magicians do tricks. God does miracles. We started with the purple. We changed it to, or so it looked. So let me show you the secret. You take the purple one. I'll put it over there for just a moment. We don't need that one. You have to hide the yellow one in your left hand. Now, you don't do this in front of everyone like I'm showing it to you. You do it backstage, behind the curtain in your room. You hide that little yellow handkerchief right there in the little fatty part where your thumb comes into your hand. Pastor David, you know what doctors call that part? That's called the fatty part that comes from your thumb to your hand. It's a medical term I learned on WebMD. Anyhow, you tuck and roll, tuck and roll, tuck and not stop, drop, and roll. That's what you do if your body's on fire. You tuck and roll. You get that yellow handkerchief and you hide it in that little fatty part where your thumb comes into your hand. Then you come out and you wave the purple handkerchief in the air. We learned Friday night this is called misdirection. You see, everybody watches this handkerchief and nobody will watch your left hand as long as it's in a natural position. See what I mean? By the way, magicians, we learned, did not invent misdirection. I believe that was a politician. Yes. So keep waving the purple handkerchief. No matter what happens, do not open this hand. What happens if you open it? Yes, the yellow one will fall out on the floor, and everybody will know how you do the trick. So keep your left hand closed. You understand? Keep it closed. Okay, never mind. Anyhow, when you're ready, no. You wait that long, it sounds like sympathy. You push the purple one in. Now, as you push the purple one in, you simply pull the yellow one out the bottom. You see, I lost you, didn't I, David? Please pay attention. It goes in purple, it comes out yellow, goes in purple, comes out yellow. Oh, here's a bit of wisdom. Never pull the yellow one out until the purple one is all the way in. Because if you do this, everybody will know you're doing a trick. So hold on to the yellow until you get the purple one all the way in the top. Now you can pull out the yellow. Now you can show your hand empty. Now you can take a bow. Any questions? Hey, let's find some kids to help us today. You got any music up there? I don't know any. A couple of kids with big smiles. Would you like to help me? Come on down. Clap loud for this young lady. Oh my goodness. Oh, and sir, you be perfect. Yes, sir. With the two eyes. Clap loud for him as well. Give him a big round of applause. Here they come. Hello, hello, hello. What is your name? What is it? Kara. Everybody say hello, Kara. Nice to meet you, Miss Kara. Stand right there for me. Good, good. Hello, sir, right here for me. What is your name?
Wesley.
Wesley. Everybody say, hey, Wesley. Shake my hand, Wes, or high five, or shake my hand, or whatever you want, dude. Here, I'll shake your hand. La, 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 la. How old are you, Wesley? 7 years old. I have a 7-year-old. How old are you, ma'am? 8 years old. Do you know each other? Shake hands, be friends. Other hand, Wesley. I now pronounce you man and wife. Wonderful. No, Wesley, when I was 7 years old, I saw a magician on Telefusion. It was Telefusion then. He had a piece of rope like this, Wes. And your name was? I want to make sure you didn't forget. Kara and Wes. He had a piece of rope. Look at this. And he threw it into the air, and the rope stayed suspended in midair all by itself. And a small boy, age 7, climbed to the top of the rope and disappeared in a puff of smoke. Would you like to see that? So would your mama. So anyhow, no, I don't know that trick. I don't know that trick. I really don't. But I do know a trick with a piece of rope and a pair of skizzers, okay? So I'll let you use the skizzers. You hold the rope. Don't drop it, okay? It's very important. So we'll get out. Where are the skizzers? Here they are, right here. Stand right back here for me, Wesley. Good, good. Now, these are very sharp, okay, sweet pea, so be careful with them. We're going to cut the ends off the rope. Wes, you're doing a great job. Just cut the ends off the rope for me. Just cut the ends. Just cut. Kira, just cut. What? Oh, they're stuck, maybe. There we go. Okay, there you go, sweet pea. All right, good. Just cut the ends off the rope. Be really careful. Okay, just cut the ends. Just cut the ends. What's the matter? Oh, they seem to be all right. All right. All right. Just cut the ends. I don't have insurance, okay? 5 days with Obamacare. It didn't work out. Now, I speak the truth in love. Actually, they're still on hold in my pocket. So we'll use the big scissors. Hi-ya! We'll cut that end off. Stay. We'll cut that end off. Yeah! You cut the ends off a rope, guess what, Wes? You'll have a rope with no ends. Whoa! I came to the end of my rope. Hiya! Good, there we go. That's what we're looking for. Now, thank you. Always good to have my mother here. Is that you, Juanita? Oh. I would know where you're sitting now. All right, good. Thank you, Juanita, for being here. I tell you what, this is what's going to happen. We're going to take that rope. We're going to find the middle. The middle is in the center. You see that magician, Wes, on television. He took that rope. He cut it in half. The middle is usually in the center. He cut it in half. He snapped his fingers, and the rope came back together in one. Okay, just a minute. Listen, sing to everybody. I'll be right back. You distract him. Go ahead, distract him. I got to fix this. Yeah, good, perfect. And the rope came back together in one piece. Isn't that amazing? Fantastic. One piece of rope. Back together again. Don't point it out, they won't notice. You're probably wondering about that small blemish in the middle of the rope with the two little legs on it. Would you blow on that knot for me? Would you blow on that knot for me? Becomes a slip knot. We can slip it right down here. We could take it up, turn it like that, slip it right down here. Or we could take it, slip it all the way off the rope, be back where I started with one long piece. I don't know that trick because whenever he did it, people clapped. But I don't. Oh, thank you. Would you like to learn how to do that? Good. Hold the rope. We need a magic wand. Don't drop it, whatever you do. Good, 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 good. Perfect. Wonderful. You hold the magic wand for me. Whoa. Whoa. Say jump. Jump. Woo. Good. Hold on to the wand. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how it's going to work. I'm going to take that rope. We're going to find the middle. The middle is in the center. We're going to bring it up just like that. We're going to cut the rope. Do you see the white, pink with freckle spots? That's me. Do you see the white rope? That's the rope. Be careful. Open the rope. Open the scissors. I'll help you. No need to rush. I'll help you. Yeah! Perfect. Now, this is what's going to happen. You are going to hold the rope in your hands like that. You are going to wave the magic wand. Everybody else needs to help right now. If you have an imagination, if you don't, pretend. Reach into the air, grab some magic wiffle dust, or reach in your pockets, grab some wiffle dust, reach in your pockets, in the air, wherever it is, just pretend, hold on to the pieces of rope. You stand here for me, sir. Hold them, you got them, hold them tight. Reach in, go ahead, everybody, reach into the air. If everyone does this, no one will stare at you. Good, throw it right up there toward Wes's rope. Whoosh. Perfect. Wave the wand over the rope. Perfect. You know any magic words? Abracadabra. I thought you were going to say Geico. Now, if it worked, we're going to reach inside. See that right there? Come here, come here, come here. You're going to pull, in just a moment, you're going to pull and walk that direction. If the rope came back together, people are going to clap loud. Ready? Slowly. 1, 2, 3. They did it. Give them a big round of applause. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Take a bow. Take another bow. Overdo it. That's enough. Stay right there. These are magic knots. Take them home with you. Put them under your pillow when you go to bed. When you wake up in the morning, $1 will be there. Just tell your parents I said that, okay? Clap loud for my friends. They did a great job. Thank you so much. I'll keep the buck. I have a very simple example for you this morning. If you believe there are many ways home, then when you leave here today, instead of going north, go south. Instead of turning left out of this parking lot, go the opposite direction. And when you get to that corner, turn the opposite direction. And when you get there, turn the other way. And you will get further and further and further away from your intended destination. So I believe that we have to understand there is one way to get to heaven, and Jesus Christ is the way. And the second thing I think he wants us to understand about those two roads is that we could make a mistake about which road we're on. Good Nazarenes in church on a Sunday morning could make a mistake about the road that you're on. Listen to what it says just a few verses later. In verse 21 of Matthew 7, Christ continues, "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' will enter the kingdom of heaven, but the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. On that day, many will say to me, 'Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name and cast out demons in your name and do many mighty works in your name?' And then I will declare to them, 'I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness.'" These are people that in our time would be church people. They're doing great things, but yet he says that he never knew them. So it is possible, according to Jesus Christ himself, it is possible for us to be on the wrong road. Proverbs 14:12 says this, "There is a way which seems right to a man, but its end is the way of death." How many of you have a GPS unit in your car? Raise your hand. A few of you. You probably have one on your phone. How many of you have it on your phone now? Yes, we can take them everywhere with us now. GPS stands for Global Positioning System. How many of you have ever been lost? You thought you knew where you were, but you really didn't know where you were. Has that ever happened to you? Yeah. If your hands are up, you're lying. No, occasionally it happens, doesn't it? And a few years ago, true story, we were leaving Nashville. We had been up here for some programs, and we were going up to Louisville, Kentucky. And we were in our motorhome. We have a motorhome we traveled in quite a bit when my family is with me. And so we had left Nashville, and we were heading up 65 toward Louisville. And we'd been driving for a few hours out of Nashville, and I needed to get fuel for that motorhome. Maybe we'd been going maybe an hour or so on the road, I guess. And so we exited a truck stop, and I have a little GPS unit in my motorhome. It's portable. I take it with me. We call it Rosie. You know, from the Jetsons. Okay, never mind. Anyhow, so we named this little GPS unit Rosie. And I turned Rosie down, and so I got gas in the motorhome, and we get back on the road, and I'm on the phone talking to my office, I think, back in Florida. I have my little earpiece on, and I'm driving. My wife Debbie's in the passenger seat up front. She's reading a magazine. The kids are in the back watching something on the TV or reading. They're playing a game. They're doing something. And I'm driving down that road, and if you were to stop and freeze frame this moment, and you had asked me, Scott, which direction are you going? I would have said north. That's the way I'm heading, north from Nashville. I've left, and I'm going up toward Kentucky, north. If you had asked me, are you sure you're going north? I would have said, yes, I am sure I'm going north. So we're driving along, and all of a sudden I see a sign ahead of me that says Nashville, 102 miles. I hung up the phone, I turned up the GPS, and Rosie's saying, U-turn, 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 U-turn. I looked at my wife, I said, Debbie, did you know I was going the wrong direction? Yes. The truth is, she figured it out about the moment I did. What was I going to do? I had to go to the next exit a few miles. It's so frustrating, especially in a big old motorhome. I went up to the next exit. I made a U-turn. I got back and headed toward our destination. The point is, I was so sure I was going north, but until I saw the sign and until I turned up the volume on that global positioning system, I was wrong. Even though in my heart, in my head, I was sincere, going north, I was going the opposite direction. Do you know what happens to many of us? Is we're going through life on spiritual experiences that happened a long time ago. And we have turned our GPS down. Let's not refer to it as a global positioning system. Let's refer to it as a God positioning system. And we have turned our God positioning system down, and we are just cruising through life. And if we would take just a moment this morning in the year 2014 to turn up our God positioning system, you might hear him say this morning, U-turn, U-turn, U-turn. God allows U-turns. When you confess your sin and you see it the way God sees it, you'll want nothing more to do with it. You see, Jesus' death on that cross does you absolutely no good until you accept it as your own.
This is Pastor Kevin M. Olmert thanking you for joining us today for The Real Life. For more information, visit our website at www.nfcn.org and worship live with us at 510 Woodland Street at 9 a.m. every Sunday morning. May God bless you.